WeAre podcast. I'm your host, Karina Kaufman, and today I'm going to be interviewing an e-commerce store owner, Steffanie Monae. She's the founder of Shop Jayla Kids, and she's recognized across social media platforms for her sustainable and innovative products. So, Steffanie, thank you for joining us today. She's going to be focusing on social media techniques and other insights and just key learnings that she's experienced herself that keep her grounded and motivated. Steffanie, thank you for joining us.
Hi, Karina. Thank you for having me.
Hi. So can you just share with our audience, those that may not know about you and your products, a little bit about you, where you're from, and your offerings?
Yeah, okay. So, like you said, my name is Steffanie Monae. I have an online store where we sell inspirational gear for mom, women, and children. Um, I, I don't know if I would say we're 100% sustainable. That is something that we would want to be, eventually. But again, we sell water bottles that are reusable. So we try to think of like, little ways that we can contribute. But as a small business, you can only do so much. But that's pretty much who we are and what we're doing. So I'm from Oakland. I went to San Francisco State University. I majored in fashion merchandising and marketing. And at San Francisco State, a big part of my degree or my studies was sustainable fashion.
Mm.
So it's kind of always lived in me a little bit in the back of my mind, like whatever I do with my career, just always thinking about the environment and how I can contribute.
Okay, that's great. So, right now, when you're getting your products out online, can you tell us more around what inspired you to start using social media to grow your e-commerce business online and how it's changed the way that you connect with your customers?
Um, Originally I always wanted to be a store owner, and when you're young, you don't really know what that looks like. And obviously, the world is changing. I've worked in brick and mortar stores, but they're kind of dying down a little bit and not as powerful as they were or as necessary, I guess I should say. Like you can totally run an online store
Mhm.
from the your garage or your warehouse or wherever, um, just fine. So that's kind of how I ended up here. Another way that I ended up online is, as a small business, you're always trying to think of ways to um, get your business started with the least amount of money, and
Yeah.
if you're online, that is right there cutting a huge kind of unnecessary cost in the beginning. So that's kind of how I ended up online. And really, if you're online, you can't not have social media, especially Instagram. Like, yes, I feel like, TikTok is on the up and up, but Instagram is just kind of like one of those things. Like in a creative world, I say it's like your LinkedIn. Like if you're telling me you do anything creative, you should have an Instagram presence. Like I'm looking you up, So that is why I leverage social media. And again, my store is online, so I have to be open every day. And a part of me being open every day is letting my customers know. And typically, most of my customers live on a social media platform.
It's kind of interesting that you talk about Instagram, and it seems like that's the place where people go to now to verify is this place legit. And then, but in regards to actually looking at different products or discovering products, which channel would you say recommend Instagram for that, or is there a different social channel that you find is more profitable?
For me, I would still say that it's Instagram. However, Instagram has definitely become a place where you have to pay to play. Like you have to utilize, boosted ads and, things of that sort. Um, TikTok, yes, I see the potential, but it's just a lot of work. So I think it depends on where you are in your life, and when you are trying to grow a business, I do think that you should try to be present in every one, but there should be one that is like your main focus. And for me, it's just kind of always been Instagram.
When you say TikTok is a lot of work, can you dig a little deeper into like what you mean by that?
My age, right? My age group will tell you like I've kind of grew up with Instagram. So it's just like what I know. With TikTok, I have to learn their systems and keep up. So then there's two different platforms that I'm trying to learn the trends and keep up with. And even with TikTok, there was one point where I was on there and I was like, this is great. I was getting heck of reviews heck of views. But, you know, eventually it got to a point where it was like 100 people. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, I don't know what happened, but I can't even try to figure out what happened. And then I was also noticing where my sales were coming from. Like, I feel like sometimes people would see me on TikTok and then go to my Instagram and see what I was really about. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I said I think that they're probably both good because they're two different audiences, but at the same time, with me being a small business owner, a mother, having a lack of time, I can't like be great at both of them currently.
So I guess it also ties into really knowing the target demographic because for your products, I wonder if they're on maybe in buying more on Instagram than they are on TikTok. They may be on both, but they buy through Instagram. Whereas maybe, I don't, yeah, do you think that that could be part of it? I could be totally wrong too.
Well, I also think that what I sell, the price point, I don't know if I found my audience on TikTok because, I was talking to a homegirl and, she was like, oh, yeah, I saw a similar, cup or, something for $2. And I'm like, well, I can't keep up with that. Like, this is a
Right.
handmade cup with love, honey. Like, I can't give this to you for $2. So, like, well, I wouldn't make any money. It's not a nonprofit, but. So, those are the things that
That makes
I've had
sense.
issues with is that, I'm showing my stuff and then they're like, oh, you might also like a cup like this. And then it's like from freaking, I don't know,
Well,
Timu maybe for
I'm
$7.
wondering, yeah, or I'm wondering, do they even incorporate then AliExpress? I wonder if they have a presence then on TikTok because it is based in China, to where then they're able to offer that at a fraction of the cost.
I didn't even think about that because I was talking to my friend and she was like, how are they able to sell this stuff for so low? But you're right. They're probably just
Yeah.
tapping in. But another thing that I have been seeing, my brother, he's a little marketing guru too, and he was telling me, he said, you have to start selling live. And that's something I've been seeing on TikTok like no other is that people are just live streaming like this, like I'm talking to you and I'm like, just showing you my sweatshirt and modeling it for you. And then, I'm turning around and then the price is at the bottom with the description. And then, I'll take this sweatshirt off and try on another one and show you. I've seen them do wigs, I've seen them do everything. So, again,
Wow.
the power of social media. That's why you have to be present because it's moving fast and it's the future.
Wow. Wow. So it's like QVC. That was my error. Curate
Exactly, girl.
available. Okay.
Yes, QVC. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
So have you tried that yet for shopjaylakids.com?
So, Shop Jayla is still a baby. She's growing. She's definitely
We all
growing.
are.
Yeah. But so on Instagram, I could go live. On TikTok, I cannot go live because I'm just now kind of starting to grow that one. And I think you have to have, I don't know how many followers. Again,
Oh, a
this is
base
something
on
I
like
have
a
to
base
research
database of
to go
followers.
live. Now,
Oh,
what I will say about going live on Instagram, I don't think you can go live QVC style on Instagram like
right.
you can on TikTok because it's just not the same platform.
I wonder if you can do it, but then you're telling people like and maybe it would be a separate component where you're tracking the orders and then you can give them a shout out as the order goes through. Like I see you, Sally Joe in Florida.
I haven't come across that on Instagram just yet.
Well, no wait. So
TikTok all day.
you have your
TikTok all
Instagram.
day.
Yeah, you have your Instagram going live, and but you're directing people to get this on the site. I'm only going to offer this pricing for this 5 minutes that I'm on here, and then every order that I get, I'm going to notice it through my Shopify platform. I'm going to give you a shout out, Sally Joe in Florida.
This is what I'm saying, Crystal Lollipop of California. Is that I just even even on TikTok, I can show up on TikTok kind of just out of the bed. You know, it just feels different.
Really?
Instagram,
Oh, that's another thing.
they're different platforms. And I mean, sure, I can be an innovator, and I see you $5 off, but I just don't think I don't know. I don't have it in me. It's even now still hard for me to go live. So I don't know, Crystal Lollipop.
Big ideas, no action marketer.
Yeah, no. I know. No, but that's a great point. So again, that is the future too, selling live. So, and it even came to me too, like with my store. You know, I always wanted a store, and I'm seeing other people going live, and I'm seeing sometimes people go from their store, and I'm like, really, this could be my store.
Yeah.
Literally, like shelves here, you know, and it's online, just live.
Yeah.
And I'm showing you, you know, like, hey, this is in new type of thing. I see where it's going. I just got to get on the train.
Can you talk to me about, share maybe one of your most successful social media campaigns?
I think honestly, just recognizing it for what it is. Like, Instagram is not what it used to be, you know, and I was on there hitting the pavement and hashtag this, hashtag that, and getting 2 likes and 10 views, and you have, you know, over how many ever followers, but you're still not growing. And I think just realizing, I think I might have had a conversation with you, is just like, boost your ads. And since then, I mean, if you do a little boost, it doesn't have to break your bank, because, you know, we're talking to people of all, you know, income levels or where you're starting at. But even just a small little boost on, you know, your stuff, just to get the recognition, to get your product out there. For me, that has been the most successful, is a little bit of an ad boost. And then also just making sure that I am showing up consistently and authentically, for sure. Like, people want to see you.
When you talk about, when you go through the process of paid media on Instagram and you're going to do an ad boost, can you walk someone who's never gone through that before through the steps and maybe what they have to have ready to have, you know, an ad go live?
I think that if you're going to do a carousel, then do a carousel. So just do a photo. You have the caption area to, you know, do your call of action and your ad. In a video, one thing I would say about a video, I have not really done this, but I see it happen and I understand why it works, is that if you're doing a video with a tip, like a style tip or whatever, pack them in there. You know, you got a video where you're moving fast, you're doing different things, and you're, you know, throwing out different tips in neat spaces that, you know, are appeasing to the eyes, but it keeps changing. People are going to keep watching your video because they're trying to say, wait, what then, you know, how was that styled? What, you know, so that's a good, you know, way to keep them engaged and keep your video going. Because yeah, you could boost the ad, but then if an ad goes also viral, just kind of off of the amount of views you're getting, then that's extra, you know, bang for your buck.
Do you shop through any social media platforms yourself?
I have. I mean, right now I'm shopping through Shop Jayla. Pretty much all I wear is my own stuff right now.
Your own business, people.
But yeah, I will, and I feel more comfortable too. Now, again, I'm new to TikTok, so if it's not in the TikTok shop, sometimes I won't, and I'm not in the TikTok shop, so I think that also is a reason why, you know, maybe I'm not growing as fast as I want on TikTok.
What ads do you find yourself responding to? I think this is just nice insights for people, or calls to action that get your attention, or that you've seen work well for yourself and your business, shopjaylakids.com.
Sometimes a good flat lay is good, depending on what it is, you know, like that way you can really see it. Okay, so a flat lay is like a still image, right? You know how you see those pictures where it's like the background and then you just see like the pants thrown there with the shoes styled to the side. Like, it's on the floor though. You can tell it's like on the floor or on a table.
Okay.
But it's that good view where you can just see it like laying flat.
Oh, okay. And you see that you respond to those, you find more than other styles.
I mean, for clothing, yeah. So like if you did like a little cute little flat lay, so a good carousel could be, a cute little flat lay, maybe a cute picture like with the girl wearing the sweatshirt, um, and then maybe just the product after, and then voila.
Okay, great. Thank you. What would you recommend for someone that has products that are not apparel? They can't wear them. It's something like a, reusable water bottle.
Well, you can also do flat lays with that, but even that, I feel like those sometimes are even easier because there's so many mock-up tools, right? Where you can get a mock-up tool of the background already there and you literally just drag your image on top of a hand holding your cup, or you can get creative. I don't know your budget, go to the dollar store or go to Michael's, get you 2 foam boards, make you a little backdrop with the bottom, clean white lines. It's Valentine's Day, throw you some Valentine's Day decor in there, put your water bottles in there, and take cute photos and edit it a little.
Nice. Thank you. So we know running an online business isn't always glamorous. Can you share a moment when you faced a significant challenge and what kept you going during the dark times of e-commerce?
Today, yesterday, the day before that. Especially around this time because you're coming off of Christmas and then it's like, but you're still exhausted. You're still trying to think of ways to keep it going. I think that more than anything, especially when you are a small business owner, like literally you have to show up to work every day. The marketer has to show up to work every day. The accountant has to show up to work every day. The photographer has to show up to work every day. Like you're wearing a billion hats and you got to be on every day.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, in the beginning when the sales aren't rolling in and the Instagram isn't popping like you want it to pop, it is dark, it is tired, and it is lonely. But do you want it or do you not? Because if you see it, you can achieve it. So just keep going because one day it's going to pop.
What advice would you give to listeners who are facing challenges in their business right now? How can they stay motivated and push through when things get tough? And this is going to be a motivational thing, so talk to them directly like they're your child or whatever. You're talking to them.
So first I would say, if you're a business owner, and I'm going to just speak for myself, as a business owner, it's kind of a dream that lives in your imagination. So when you're dealing with a dream that lives in your imagination, you're probably tapped into some type of source, some type of higher source to keep you going, that gives you faith, that keeps your adrenaline running, right? But I think that putting like pieces of your imagination on paper and setting goals and checking in with yourself, it can help you stay accountable. Because I believe that if you stay accountable, you stay consistent, something is going to change. Yes, it can get hard. That is the part of being a business owner. It's a up, a down, a turnaround, but the joy is not in that. The joy is in what you're trying to accomplish. So just enjoy the journey. Yes, it won't be easy, but it'll be worth it. So I think that what I would just say is just hold on and keep going until the wheels fall off.
Can you share with us a mistake that you've made in your business journey and how you bounced back?
I think a mistake that I've made is stopping. This is a good question to ask after the last question because, again, what I'm telling you, I'm also telling myself. That's how I even started this inspirational t-shirt business, is because I was in a place where I'm like, a sister needs a hug, and I just started to share that, and it started to bring me joy and give me hope. And it's just like, it's kind of like a living affirmation, making shirts and saying it out loud and wearing it and believing it and telling you and telling her and telling my daughters. It's like you start to believe what you say and you start to walk in that. So I think, like I said, the biggest mistake for me is just quitting. And I'm at a point now where I'm not gonna quit, like I dare to see what happens if I'm consistent for 365 days. And, you know, in a lot of different things, if I'm praying, if I'm working out, if I'm consistent with my business, I believe that my life is gonna change and it's gonna be freaking awesome, So, like I said, the biggest mistake is just quitting. So if you quit, dust it off, get back up, and just keep trying.
That's right. Thank you for that. I identify with that. I also identify with feeling overwhelmed at times. There is so much going on where just as a business owner, and then when you're a startup at that, it's like you're an octopus and there's just so many things going on in your mind at the same time. So how do you deal with feeling overwhelmed? And what would you recommend to listeners that are experiencing that as well? Especially you're a mother, you're a wife. I mean, golly.
Girl, I think I'm just now like starting to crack the code. Cause you would have asked me this a few months ago, coming off of planning a wedding and all that. I was like, like, but now I've just been really trying to just ground myself in peace and enjoy, like regardless of what's going on around me. And I feel like when I do those things, I start to be a little bit more clear upstairs, because I'm changing my focus. Then I start to focus on what I can, what can I control, Then it starts to narrow down the chaos. Then once you figure out what you can control, you start to figure out the priority of things. Again, starting to dwindle down the chaos. So for me, it's just, I don't want chaos to exist in my home. So staying on task, having a planner, being organized will change your life. And sorry, I always throw this out here, praying to your homie will change your life, keep you centered, keep you grounded. But you have to do your part too, and your part is showing up, staying consistent, and staying on task.
Oh, I have one. So, what's one thing that you wish you would have known before starting Shop Jayla Kids? And, share some advice that you have for those that are thinking about starting an e-commerce business.
Okay, so the things that I wish I would have known. So, I actually started this business back in it started off as Shop Jayla, right? It was an online boutique. Then, I realized how hard that could be, like having so much product that's not evergreen, product that goes in and out of style. You're just sitting on product. It's super expensive, right? So I think number one, that now that I'm back into it, it's knowing the power of social media. I wish I would have known that then. Knowing the importance of capital, credit, like business credit, how to build it, when you should build it, which is pretty early on, I guess I would say too, I mean, the amount of grit that really comes with it. It looks super glamorous. Oh, she works for herself. Yes, I work for myself and by myself. Like one woman shop right now, so of course it won't always be like that. And I think that is the beauty of being being a business owner, is that you in the beginning you do everything, because when it's time to roll out those jobs, you know exactly what they are and exactly how you want them to get done. So again, I enjoy the process, but definitely, again, knowing how to build your credit is important, and knowing the importance of just, it's you. It's not as glamorous, so hang in there.
We're going to move into talking about sustainability now, because it's a growing industry for everyone, and so it's a critical factor as well for many consumers. And so, can you talk to us a little bit more about what inspired you to introduce a reusable water bottle product to your lineup?
Like I said, I went to school for fashion, and crazy enough, it was all about sustainability and fashion, and not being wasteful or caring, and caring for our environment. For me, I mean, that's how I drink my water. Like, we have a water jug. We love water. I love it to stay cold. And again, I'm a fashion girl, so I like the fact that it's reusable. I also like the fact that it can, you know, tie in really cute with my different outfits. And I like the fact that, um, it's I'm not being wasteful. So I'm just trying to find little ways in my business that are controllable. And for me, the water bottles are controllable where they're reusable, they're practical, they're cute, they make sense, and they bring joy. So that's my little tidbit or my little way that I contribute.
When you were in school, what were some things that they told you about fashion and sustainability or, with business? Can you share some quick highlights or something?
So with us, the biggest thing was fast fashion, right? Because we live in a world where there's fashion back in the day, and that was the point of it, because we are all in school to do something fashion related. So it's basically they wanted us to know our part. As you come into our university and you learn how to, you know, make garments or enter into the fashion business, know that what you're contributing, like what it's doing to the environment. So also as you do that, think of ways to, not harm the environment. Like, are you using products that break down well? Could they be reused? Or when you're done with it, what are you doing with it? Don't just throw it away, donate it or repurpose it. So one project that we did when I was in school was we partnered with the De Young Museum in San Francisco, and each group had to take tablecloths and rebuild and remake something using sustainable tablecloths. So I mean, my point is just they really taught us to own our part within fashion. Like, not only do you make a statement with your career by being innovative, but you also make a statement by, being sustainable.
So the industry itself, it's the sustainability fun fact. It's expected to grow from 11 billion in 2023 to 15 billion by 2028. How has including sustainable products impacted your brand and customer loyalty for shopjaylakids.com?
It's funny because I don't even know if the consumer thinks of it as sustainability, like when it comes down to my business, but obviously that's how I think of it. But you think it's a sustainable, it is a sustainable product, but it's also a fashionable, fun product, so.
What is the product again?
So we have the cups and we have t-shirts and we have hoodies. But one thing that I try to do is like do collections where it's more like limited, so when it comes out, then you're like, oh, I want to have this cup to match this shirt, but I still feel like it's something that you hold on to because it is a limited edition. So kind of making that scarce, having that scarce mentality or scarce feel for the product.
Limited supplies.
Yes, has made them value it and hold on to it. But I think that it being sustainable is what sells it. People want something that they can keep reusing and have for the long time. People don't want junk anymore, and I don't want to sell junk. So for me, that's how I think sustainably too. Like, is this something that people can have for the long run, and would they want to have it for the long run?
I think that's really
and
important.
If they don't, is it something that's so good or so durable that we can just, secondhand it and not just trash it?
That's nice too. The beauty of a regift or a hand-me-down.
Especially when it's cute.
Yes. And because, people can outgrow the cup because it's, people's interests change, the children's interests change. I know that you have Minions offering lines, and a number of different cartoon characters.
Well, in the kids' cups, I mean, you know how kids are. It's something new all the time. But honestly, the cups are just like a cute add-on. It's the sweatshirts and the t-shirts that really sell. And even with those, I do the same thing. I try some stuff I have as a staple on my site, but a lot of stuff is seasonal, and it's good quality. It washes well. It's durable. It's something you can have next season and, for time to come. So again, just also selling quality products is another way to make sure that you're doing your part as being a sustainable company. And I'm starting to see a lot of bigger companies do things like buybacks, like you can come donate your stuff back to them and they'll recycle it. So I'm almost willing to bet too, even from my standpoint, that a lot of these companies that I buy sweatshirts from, and maybe not cups, but for sure sweatshirts and t-shirts, eventually they might want buybacks too, so that they can recycle and reuse the same cotton materials.
Have you ever considered using the keyword sustainable or key phrase sustainable business in any of your marketing?
So I have, but I feel like I would want it to be like a special thing in my business, and if anything, I would gear it more towards the children.
Oh,
But the hard thing about stuff like that, sustainability, and even offering children's clothing or things for children, is that it's quite expensive. So again, as a small business, it's trying to find that sweet spot, between being sustainable, being, responsible, and also being profitable.
the marketer in me wants to experiment with even the tag Black Sustainable Business. What do you think about that?
You know, it's just hard because once you get put in a box, you better show up, So I think that
Hmm.
I have to make sure that I'm walking like I'm talking.
She is. You have the water bottles.
I do. I
You didn't
do.
say certified.
I
Now,
do. But the question then becomes, marketer in you, does my target market value that?
well, we don't know until we test. That's what a marketer will always say. You could test it. It may be an opportunity for you to, also justify the price point that you have, because I know that even I got when I have your sweatshirt, I was like, oh my gosh, this quality is not, this is not Shein, people. This is,
Yeah.
Shop Jayla. So um, it speaks for itself. When you have it, you can feel it. But just even on just the water bottles, I think that there might be some traffic that could be generated around the sustainable products. There may be an emergence of another customer profile for you with that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, because like you said, it's a sustainable product. It's reusable. So
Yeah.
either way, yeah.
Yeah, there's the moms out there that do care about the environment and have, the bucks to spend as well. If someone listening today is feeling stuck or unsure about starting their online business, what would you say to them?
Start. Just because you build it does not mean they will come, but still show up every day like they're there. Because that's the thing. When they're not there, you're like, oh, I don't have to go to work today. But you do. You're online. Because every time you don't show up, that's like me coming to your business and you got a close sign on the door. You're not there. I don't want to buy from you. You're not consistent. I haven't seen you in 5 months. What you selling? You know? So, and then you never know when that person's going to come across your feed or come across your page. And if they do, you would hate for them to love what they see and then say, oh, but this is it. They don't post much. So your store is your Instagram or your business and all that. If it's online, show up every day so people can see your product and know what you do and know what you're about.
Thank you. That's great. Um, how do you balance your business goals with the needs of your family and personal life?
How do I balance my goals with my personal life and my business?
Mm-hmm.
It's a struggle. It's a struggle. I be struggling. It's the truth. It's a struggle. Um, but like I was telling you earlier about being overwhelmed, that's part of it, right? Being a mother, being a business owner. My husband's a business owner. It's popping over here. But I prioritize and I do block schedules. So on Mondays and Wednesdays, I work at a trucking company. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm at my store. Do not call me on Tuesday or Thursday for my trucking company because I am out of office. You can call me every day for my store though, but I don't have an actual number. But I'm just kidding. I show up for both, but really I try to prioritize that these days are set for this, and that for me just kind of dials down the chaos. Over the winter break, the kids were home, and I was going down. But you also have to know too, as a business owner and as a mother, you know, how to prioritize and how to balance. So even for me going into this new year, this upcoming Christmas won't look like last Christmas. I'm gonna make sure that I'm prepared, 100%, so that when my kids come, I don't feel guilty or bad because I feel overwhelmed that they're home, because this is really why I'm doing all of this, is for my family. So I don't want to lose sight of that.
What's next for Shop Jayla Kids then? You kind of hinted on that, and how do you hope to inspire others through your journey?
What's next for Shop Jayla Kids? So like I said, originally I started off as a boutique, having a boutique with women's clothes. And like I said earlier, like about the things living in your imagination, I always envisioned a cute store that just had cute things in it, and it was inspirational and it just made you feel good. And, that's what I want. So I want to eventually have inspirational notebooks and gratitude journals. I want to continue growing the brand. It is Shop Jayla Kids because after coming off of the boutique, I was like, I'm going to do t-shirts for kids. But I quickly started to realize that, I am passionate about the babies, but I'm also passionate about pouring into the women that has created these babies and making sure that we're good. So that's how it's, Shop Jayla Kids with adult clothing, and water bottles, all the things that make us feel good. So I hope that, coming next is I have that online store we were talking about, that visual showing up every day, and that we're selling live like I said we would, and that we just continue to impact and inspire women and children.
Okay, so we're going to move into one of my favorite things to do at the WeAre podcast, is the lightning round, which we're going to ask Steffanie Monae of Shop Jayla Kids some fun questions related to e-commerce, because that's what she has, an e-commerce business. So she had a choice to pick any celebrity. She picked Beyonce and Big Sean. And so you ready? We're going to start it now. Beyonce or Big Sean? Who's on your playlist when you're packing orders late at night?
Big Sean.
What's your go-to Beyonce or Big Sean song to hype you up for a big product launch?
Beyonce probably would be Who Run the World, Girls? Who Run This Mother? And then Big Sean would be Hard Work Don't Mean Nothing If It Ain't Smart. I'll be listening to that.
If Beyonce or Big Sean dropped a clothing line, whose would you buy first?
I guess Beyonce.
Yeah. Who would you rather have as a surprise guest at Shop Jayla Kids? Who?
Yeah. Beyonce.
Everybody falls out. You're stuck on a desert island but can only take discography of one artist, Beyonce or Big Sean.
Oh, I should have said gospel, if I'm honest with you, because that's really...
Can't go back.
Oh, man, because I really am in my gospel bag, but I think if I'm in... Still, so even though I love me some Beyonce, Beyonce is like my hype girl, you the bomb, I'm going to work out. But I think Big Sean, he drops lyrics that's like, ooh, yeah, that's good. So I think it would probably be Big Sean, because I feel like he would give me some type of aha moment that would get me off the island. he said he had a disease, and his mom took him and gave him magnesium for 2 weeks, and he was cured. So it's like I would be like listening to him, and he would tell me, and if you turn this rock over, they'll float.
Yeah, the intellectual stimulation. Yeah, you'll have the cure for mesothelioma too. Yeah. Okay, if you had to name a product after Beyonce or Big Sean, what would it be?
Well, I already have a one and only sweatshirt for Beyonce for Renaissance. You're one of one. You're the only one. So, Beyonce.
Okay. Who would make a better business partner, Beyonce or Big Sean?
I would say Beyonce because girls run the world, and she's,
Okay.
she's killing it. Yeah, she's an awesome businesswoman and very creative. Like, just like look at her and her halftime show. Just she's a bomb. So yeah, Beyonce for sure.
I feel like I know what you're gonna say. Who's more likely to shout out Shop Jayla Kids on social media,
Big
Beyonce or Big
Sean,
Sean?
Big Sean. If he
Oh,
was to meet me, he would be like, she the homie.
yeah, partner.
Hmm.
If you could ask either Beyonce or Big Sean one piece of business advice, who would you pick and what would you ask?
I think it would probably be Beyonce.
Okay.
Obviously, she's a mega star. And I kind of go back to one of the questions that you asked, just like, how do you keep going and, keep the fire under you even when things don't go or turn out how you want them to be, or not even just that, as being a woman, especially a woman of color,
Hmm.
all of the limitations that she has on her. I know that could be frustrating. So just asking her, like, navigating through that, and what advice would she give, her younger self about perseverance.
Okay, thank you. That is our first lightning round. Thank
Oh, that was the
you.
first one.
Yeah, there's a couple more.
Oh,
All right, we're going to go into our next lightning round, everybody. This one is around advice for Amazon. If Amazon asked for one piece of advice to improve their small business support, what would you tell them? Steffanie, founder of shopjaylakids.com.
okay. So I would definitely feel like if I was telling him to support small businesses, I would tell him to utilize social media because that's where most of us are showing up. And maybe, like, I am starting to see Amazon do things where they partner with influencers,
Hmm.
where an influencer will drop a line that's kind of like similar to their personality, or they'll pick out clothes or whatever, um, and talk about it. But something like that could be cool, but incorporating other small businesses. So where they find all these other cool small businesses that they shop from, like those kind of influencers, and highlight, those small businesses on Amazon's platform. Then I know Amazon is known for like having super fast shipping. Sometimes small businesses can't do that. So again, taking stake in some of the inventory of a small business and saying, hey, we'll ship it out for you, we'll make it super fast, whatever we highlight, just to kind of keep you on track with that. And this doesn't have to be all the time thing, but maybe just like a little collaboration thing, like how they do with influencers, but instead collaborate with small businesses.
What's one thing you think Amazon could learn from small e-commerce stores like yours?
Well, one thing that I'm starting to see, I don't know if it was Amazon, but I came across this video, and I think it might have been a Starbucks, and they had this AI monitor, and it was able to tell you how efficient basically each worker was, how many cups they made of coffee, to kind of put a number on their productivity, like they were like robots. So I think that, Amazon is a big business, and their reach is far, but not to kind of not forget about people like small business owners whose reach isn't that far, and we can't be robots, and even just treating the people that they partner with like not robots, and making sure that they have sustainable business practices within their business to be efficient and effective. But again, Amazon's in the business of staying in business, so I don't know if they would want to incorporate small businesses. They might want to take your small business ideal and put their name on it. Because I know that's one thing about Costco I'm starting to notice. Costco used to sell a lot of like other people's brands. Like you can go there and get Starbucks egg bites. Now they have their own brand, tastes exactly the same, but it's Kirkland. So I feel like, yeah, it would be cool if these big business, collabed with small businesses, but at the end of the day, it's almost big bank take little bank.
I think I recommend Amazon simplify as well their affiliate process And onboarding process for that, I'm number one, what's up with all the small font and the small type? It's, I swear someone from IT took over. They need to have a marketer involved with the UX and the UI design of that, please. And there's so many people that I've talked to that have actually started the process and then abandoned even doing it, and they're just an affiliate for another store because it's so complicated and just not it. It's, they did a beautiful job on their e-commerce store component, but they're not using that on the other side when marketing like the B2B side of it. So
Yeah. But
it's
you
like,
know, that's always the rough part because they don't care too much about the business to business. They care about,
oh, it
because
shows
that
what, who they care about.
their customer, like they're your small fries kind of compared to what they're getting from the customer. And
Interesting, but they could save so much money on traffic and marketing, though.
yeah. No, I mean, because I have tried to be a part of the affiliate program too, and like you said, it was just too lengthy. And at the end of the day, like you're right, make it simple. Like, let me
Yeah,
know what I'm getting into, what's my cut,
yeah. Give
like,
me a link and buy.
yeah.
Yeah. If Amazon wanted to create a mentorship program for e-commerce entrepreneurs, what advice would you give them to make it effective?
I'm just trying to think. I mean, because I still keep going back to like remembering who you're working with, because a mentorship, sometimes you can mentor someone and give them great advice, but sometimes there's money that is involved or time. And I think those are the two things that people really battle between when you're a business owner is time and money. So I think that, you know, remembering who you're mentoring when with a program like that, and the why you're mentoring them, and just making sure that you're trying to set them up for success, not even on their own, but maybe as a business partner for you, like you said, business to business. So building help build people to be businesses that Amazon would want to be in business with.
All right, that's great. Thank you.